Hello and welcome to Birdeye Live, the show dedicated to the digital transformation of local businesses everywhere. I'm your host, Justin Meredith, and join me as we learn from industry experts about the how and the why for taking your business online and claiming the most valuable real estate on the internet, that first page of Google. Now, if you're tuning in live, feel free to say hello in the comments. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can do that. If you're watching us on LinkedIn or Facebook, we'd love to hear where you're tuning in from, and feel free to say hello. Now, for those who may not have heard by now, or if you haven't noticed the ticker on the bottom of the screen, on September 10th and 11th, we will be having Birdeye's second ever virtual conference, Birdeye View. And this is a free 2-day virtual event that's going to consist of over 20 different sessions hosted by over 50 different industry experts. We're going to cover everything that you need to know about building a winning online reputation in 2024. We're going to talk about improving your Google presence. We're going to talk about creating fantastic customer experiences online. And we're also going to be digging into the latest and greatest breakthroughs and trends in artificial intelligence. We'll have guests speaking from industry experts in the SEO world. We'll have representatives from Google and OpenAI coming in to share their thoughts. And we've got all kinds of different really successful experts from various industries like healthcare, self-storage, and others like that. Now, today, I'm really excited to welcome on our special guest speaker for her very first appearance on Birdeye Live, Sirit Singh. Sirit is on the digital marketing team here at Birdeye, and she has been hard at work at helping prepare for Birdeye View. Welcome, Sirit. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Justin. I'm doing great, and I just want to say how thrilled I am to be here today. It's my first session, as you said, so I'm always excited for that, first takeoff. And it's been a while since the last episode of Birdeye Live, and I think it can go without saying that the digital landscape has truly shifted, over the summer. So I actually wanted to start by asking you, what has really caught your attention this summer?
Yeah. So, generally when it comes to work or, just things that I like to read, I like to tune into really kind of everything that's happening on within the online landscape. But one of the things that has really caught my attention and something I've been really kind of into this summer has really been what's going on in the search game, particularly with Google. And there was a couple of things that happened over the summer that I thought were really interesting and potentially could have an impact on businesses. The first is their discontinuation of Google Business Messages, which I believe is at the end of July. And so I don't necessarily think that Google's going to be stopping, or really kind of not adding any sort of ways for businesses to communicate with their customers. I think they're really they're looking for a better approach, in terms of how to do that efficiently and safely and easily between the businesses and customers. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, and this one kind of may have flown under the radar for a lot of people, but we saw the end of infinite scroll, or as other people call it, continuous scroll. And this is in the search results. And so maybe you haven't noticed, or maybe you have, but if earlier this year, pretty much up until kind of like a month ago, if you looked in your search results on Google and you would scroll down, what you used to find was those 10 blue links, right? That first page of Google. But what they did a couple of years ago is they implemented what's called infinite scroll. And that's basically kind of like the same thing with social media, like on your timeline, where you can just kind of scroll forever and new posts will pop up. And so, for, a few different reasons, they stopped doing that and they brought it back to the old school pagination. And obviously the goal for SEO is to rank as high as you can. But I do think that going back to these 10 blue links is going to be impactful in some way. I think there's going to be a little bit less visibility for certain businesses that maybe have shown up in like the 12th or 13th spot. There's some data, there's mixed data and results on like how much the infinite scroll helped with clicks and things like that. Feels like people's user behavior was still pretty hardwired to look at the top 3 or 4 results. But nonetheless, it is going to be interesting to see overall how that impacts the visibility of a lot of these web pages. And obviously there's been a ton of updates in AI and things like that as well. But what about you, Sierra? What have you been keeping your eye on this summer?
I mean, I obviously want to say AI has been the hottest topic that's been covered for what
It
seems
really
like the
has.
last 2 to 3 years. I mean, it's standing tall right now at a market size of 638 billion US dollars, and it's impacting all verticals that I can think of in subtle and some significant ways, changing the way that we interact with customers, affecting for the better, to be honest, internal operations, data synthesis, and marketing in all aspects. And all the companies that are working on AI models right now are giving each other a run for their money, that's for sure. But I think one of the biggest discussions within the AI community has been around data, with models becoming increasingly capable of handling large amounts of data and being capable of providing truly actionable insights. And why this is exciting is because this is happening right within the walls of Birdeye with our very own Bird AI, especially for multi-location businesses where managing listings can be complex and honestly a bit overwhelming. Think about it. I mean, each location with its own reviews, listings, and customer interactions. It creates a huge amount of data to be handled, and I think the larger the amount of data that a company is dealing with, I think the more the scope of human error increases. So I feel like this is where AI really shines. With
Yeah.
AI, not only can you manage, all of your locations from a single platform, you can also make sure that, everything is consistent, accurate, and up to date across, across the web, for your locations and your dates and, opening timings, everything. And with AI, that's just scratching the surface. I mean, it doesn't just help you keep things organized. It also, helps you process vast amounts of data quickly and accurately. So, I mean, you can always use this data to extract really valuable insights that actually drive your business decisions. So, I mean, now AI is not just a tool; it's pretty much a game changer for, especially for, managing multiple locations.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point because, I mean, if you think about it, let's say you're a business with 100 locations. That's 100 Facebook pages. That's 100 Google Business profiles. That's 100 location pages on your website. That's 100 Bing locations or Angie's List or whatever, all of these different places on the internet where your business information for a specific location lives. You're going to have that times 100. And, in order to really maximize your potential when it comes to being online, you have to make sure all of that is accurate and is being updated and is truthful and helpful and everything like that to what your business is. And staying on top of that is not easy. I mean, that's and exactly what you were saying is like that's what the great thing is about AI. And it allows you to not only obviously with all the connections and things like that, Birdeye's been able to do that. But the big thing that you mentioned this is that it can pull insights from that data, and it makes it a lot easier for you to digest everything versus having to surf through hundreds and hundreds of reviews to kind of get an idea of how your customers feel. Whereas now you can have uh, sentiment analysis and being able to pull more of a summary type thing for these different locations. And with Birdeye, it's really quite remarkable how easy it is just to plug it in and go. Um, you know, and trying to manage all of that stuff in its own right is really difficult, like I just explained. But it's not only difficult to do that, but it's also difficult to just keep up with what's going on in the industry when it comes to technology, search, and AI. I mean, there's constantly new updates. Like we were just talking about those updates from Google. They just released their core algorithm update here, this past month in August. It's really remarkable, how much things seem to be happening so quickly. It feels like there's a new AI model and a new tool that pops up every day that could really help with businesses and the things that they do as well. It just seems to be like a flood or a fire hose, And so, that's why we are having Birdeye View, because this is the time where we can have a bunch of these experts, all of these people whose really job it is to stay up to date on all of this stuff, come together and offer their insights and expertise on what is going on and how can businesses, whether it's a one location mom and pop, an agency, a marketing agency for businesses, or as well as those big enterprises with 100 or 500 locations. We're going to have a track specifically designed for each of those segments, and with experts that are specializing in each of those segments, offering their insights. It's going to be a really, really fun event, and the fact that it's free is also just remarkable to me. I don't know how we're able to pull it off, but I mean, clearly you've been hard at work at it, and so with your involvement, Sarah, what are some of what's one of the sessions that you're most excited about? Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to watching?
Absolutely. I think one session that I'm pretty excited about is the session about social media management. It's called Master Social Media in 45 minutes per week. I mean, we've all, I think all digital marketers at some point in their lives have handled social media, right? And let's be fair, handling 3 to 4, on an average, three to four social media accounts, for a business can feel like a full-time job. It pretty much is. It's an overwhelming task. So when you talk about multi-location businesses, you're essentially multiplying, those 3 or 4 counts by, the number of locations that business has, and coming up with refreshing and engaging content for, each one of those locations and each one of those demographics in the geographic area is a huge task. So I think this session is pretty much about showing you how to make a big impact on your social channels without spending hours every day. And it's perfect for someone, anyone who's looking to get the most out of their social media in just 45 minutes per week. So you can focus on what's actually important, which is growing your business.
Yeah.
And I want to say, speaking of business growth, which is kind of the ultimate goal for all sessions in this event. Which webinar are you the most excited about?
Man, yeah. Well, I mean, outside of the social media one that you just mentioned, there's just a lot that we have going on. The keynotes are really exciting. We've got some folks from Google and OpenAI coming to speak and offer their insights, and so I'm definitely tuning in for those. But more on like the breakout session side, there's one that I'm hosting, which I'm super pumped about, and that is with one of the few Diamond Google Business Profile Diamond product experts, or maybe it's Diamond product Google Business Profile expert. I'm not exactly sure which way it is. I'm sorry, Ben, but so Ben Fisher is his name. He's one of the only guys with that certification in the United States, and he's going to be joining us for our session. And that is going to be how to navigate the Google ecosystem for enterprise success. And I'm really excited for this. As I was mentioning before, like that's been one of the things that I've been really paying attention to this summer. And we're going to be diving into some really cool topics. We're going to talk about how the landscape of search has changed. We're going to talk about how AI is going to be impacting, or maybe not impacting, the way search results are displayed. We're going to talk about the way people are using AI to search for things, and whether that's going to impact the local side or maybe just the informational side of search. We're going to talk about some of the new players that are coming into the search game. I know there's a little thing called Search GPT that's on the horizon that some people have already had access to and are testing out and have provided their insights on that. But there's some really, really cool things that I'm excited to dig into. And so, I mean, with the way things are going, there's all kinds of updates that seem to be popping up. I'm just really excited to dig into those. So it looks like we're already getting near our time, Sierra, but before we go, I just wanted to encourage everybody to remember to register for Birdeye View. Again, we've got 2 days of incredible content. It's going to be completely virtual and completely free. And if you can't even make it live on the 10th and the 11th, you don't even have to worry about that, because you'll get access to the recordings as soon as the event is over. So it really seems like a no-brainer to get, this information, this kind of content from these types of experts for free and to have it on demand. But we definitely encourage you to attend live because we're going to be there and we're going to be answering questions and engaging. And so we definitely want to see you there on the days of the event. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. So, without keeping people here too long, Sirit, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed your first episode of Birdeye Live. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Awesome. And yeah, and so for everybody else, don't forget to like us or follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook or Instagram or anything on all those social platforms. We have an amazing team that's been posting some incredible and helpful and actually educational content. That's one of the big focuses that we have, is we want to try to provide as much, information to help businesses succeed online. So definitely check that out. Check out our blog. But without, further ado, I'll let you guys go, and we'll see you on the next episode of Birdeye Live. Thanks, guys.
Customer expectations are higher than ever. And for local businesses with limited resources, meeting these new demands to stand out from the competition can be a struggle. Meet Birdeye, our very own AI purpose-built to power digital customer experience. With Birdeye, local businesses of any size can deliver personalized experiences, elevate business outcomes, and better understand their customers without adding resources. Birdeye powers all the Birdeye tools your business already uses, enhancing your entire customer experience with personalized, contextualized, and human-controlled AI. And making the most of it only takes a couple of clicks. You can use Birdeye to rewrite your Google business description for SEO. Effortlessly engage your customers with fully personalized AI-generated review replies and messages. Create attention-grabbing social posts from text to design in a click of a button to grow your local presence. Even use AI to summarize your reviews, messages, and survey responses to learn how to improve your customer experience. And you can do it all without needing additional team members or spend. Birdeye gives your team the ability to personalize and elevate every customer interaction, from review responses, messaging, social, and beyond, at scale. Respond to every customer review in a way that's relevant, meaningful, and in the language your customers prefer with auto-translate. Increase conversion over messaging with contextualized responses that demonstrate a deep understanding of your customers' needs. Birdeye even helps you think ahead. It automatically identifies trends and spots areas of improvement based on vast volumes of customer feedback, helping you dig deep into the true sentiment behind every piece of feedback. Innovative and easy to use, Birdeye powers all the tools to attract, convert, and delight customers behind the Birdeye platform. Birdeye, AI built for local business.